So sorry about that, folks. I'm a little bit out of breath. I had to go downstairs to take care of something, so I am so sorry about that, folks. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Real quick, let me set up some music. I need to set this up. I'm a little out of breath because I was running from like downstairs and shit, so it's like might be. Let's put some music. I gotta set the thing up. All right, here's some music. I need to check one other thing. I know I'm like so unprepared. It's cause like I had to like check. Okay, I had to check a few things last minute. Okay. All right, we should be good. Let me get a drink of water because I'm a little out of breath. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to my stream. My very late scuff stream, but we're here and that's the important part. So for today's stream, we are gonna be drawing one of my OCs, my OC Cindy, and I'm gonna be doing like a summer theme. I was actually kind of doing some ideas because, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was doing some sketches beforehand, like even on my sketchbook, because I had this idea of doing like a summer theme, like, oh, let me calibrate this. And I had a lot of ideas. I actually had a lot of ideas, but the problem is none of my ideas, like, the problem is I was struggling with getting a composition as well as like a background, because, you know, backgrounds suck balls. So as a result, I was just like, composition is so weird and all that shit. So I was like frustrated. Let me actually check something here. I know I shouldn't be doing this while I'm streaming, but whatever. I'm just gonna check something real quick. But yeah, like I was like such a hot mess. I was like, whatever. So what I'm just gonna try to do is work on the main composition, and then anything with backgrounds and shit, we'll just, I mean, worst case scenario, it's just gonna not have a great background, but I want to have something, you know what I mean? Like I want to have something. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna just open up a new thing. Oh, hey, nice. So welcome on in. Like I said, this is gonna be more of a chill art stream. I'm also gonna do this. Oops. Oh my god, I hate when it does that. Oh no. Okay, I don't know why it unpinned. I don't know why that happened, but okay. I accidentally pinned something that I didn't do it. I was trying to like adjust something, but whatever. All right. But yeah, we're gonna be working on one of my characters. I'm gonna just do a summer theme. Okay. Let me put that down. Let me put this up. Oh my god. All right, and one last thing I gotta do. Let me bring up a reference. But I hope everyone is having a good time. I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. I also want to give everybody a heads up that after this week, I think I'm gonna have to take, I'm not going to 100% like, oh, take a break from streaming. I mean, I might, but like what I'm saying is, you know what, I like this art, so I'm gonna actually bring this as a reference because I'm actually gonna try to draw Cindy and her girls. So I think this is a good reference to have on stream. I'm not saying that I'm gonna go on a break, but essentially I have to focus on a few things and I want to get some stuff done before actually before I pull the reference. I'm just gonna do this. All right, I'm gonna actually use this as like a main guide. Like I said, I was trying to go for like a composition and I was just like struggling so much, but I'm just going to do what I did before. Like, I think I'm just gonna stick to one of the ideas I did before that I think seemingly worked. Also, let me enable an auto action here because auto actions actually save me. Okay. But this is like my thing that I got here. I'm actually going to lighten it up completely because I'm going to do something a little bit different. Okay, whatever, that'll work. All right, also let me change the background to make it like a little bit easier on the eyes. Oh my god. Whoops. There we go. I'll do multiply. There we go. Then we can see it. And then let me adjust a few things here. Okay, that should be fine. I should be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah. I need to get like the next, I don't mind my art tablet because it is amazing and it's like lasted me for very, very long. I've actually had this for like, I bought this I think in 2019, so I've had it for like 6 years. So honestly, this drawing tablet has lasted me very long. But I think I'm going to I think for the next one I need to get like one of those like glare sheets or whatever they call it to like help out with that, to like make it a little bit easier. Okay, all right, so I have like an idea for what I want to do. So we're gonna actually, like I said, I'm going to just focus on like the visual, like the main visual thing first, and then we could focus on like, and then I can focus on like you know, I'll focus on like the background and everything else later, because again, the background was giving me a hard time. Like, I do want to do a beach thing and I have kind of a thing I could reference off of, but this is one of those pieces where I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on like, I'm just gonna focus on what looks right at the moment. So because like the more I try to focus on like what looks good, the more my head fucking hurts. So I'm just like fuck it, we're just gonna do that. Also, oh, hold on, sorry, I gotta like put my phone up because I forgot that my tablet is kind of covering it up. Also, I'm gonna do a sound check. It's kind of, oh, okay, I forgot you guys could hear that. Hold up, let me check something. Okay, all right, that should be good, okay. So all right, oh wait, okay, that's silent. Okay, all right, so yeah, we're just gonna do this. Wait, why am I scrolling? And we're just doing the silhouette. Oh, you know what, this would be a perfect opportunity. I want to also try, if we get to the line art part, I want to try, this is actually a good opportunity to try the like I saw a thing, I saw a short on YouTube of like how to get like a certain look. So I want to try like how to get your pen to look like a liner, like almost like very pen like. All right. Actually, no, that's fine because we're gonna actually have another thing here. And then for the visual, because I want these girls to be in it too, so we're gonna have them here. So I'm actually gonna have them in a separate sketch. Let's see. Trying to think. Okay, one of them is here. Probably move her a little bit further. Whoops. Then we have to have Cindy's big fluffy ear. Oops. Oops. Fluffy tail. That's what I meant to say. Very rarely, whenever I stream these art things, I don't usually like to do like, I mean, I don't mind doing sketches. It's just that I always just do a sketch ahead of time, like, because sometimes the sketches I do are like sometimes the sketches I do them in my like sketchbook. So the reason I don't always do them is because I have it in my sketchbook most of the time, and then I just basically like and then I scan them, or I take a photo and I bring it into like the thing, and then that's pretty much how I do it. Oh, I have a cute idea. Wait, how would I do this? Oh, I have an idea. Hold on. I gotta bring both the sketches down here. Or no, wait. Let's do this real quick. There we go. Let me shrink her down to be a little bit smaller. All right. Actually, I think her... Hold on. Let's make this... Like, the idea is that she comes sweeping in because she saw something up in Cindy's tail, and it's like, oh no, I gotta stop it. All right, I'm going to... I think I'm gonna color code these sketches a bit. All right, these girls are together, so they're gonna be that color. There we go. Okay, that makes it a little better. All right, so I got that kind of sketch. I think I'm gonna make Cindy just a little bigger. All right. And then I kind of want to go for this same art style. Maybe not with like the, maybe not with where is it? Maybe not with the halftone effect. But I do like this particular art style, so I might go for that. And I want to try that, like, if I have time for line art, I want to try like something like that. Also, I think for this stream, I want to do a decently big art. I want to do a decently big. Oh, you know what? Here, I know what we'll do to make them a little bit different. Let me. Like, I want to definitely Okay, there we go. I feel like that connects them a little bit better. We're gonna do like I want to go for like maybe 2 to 2.5 hours, just because like later on I think I'm gonna have to step out. Also, another reason next week I might not stream a lot is because of 2 reasons. Number one, I have to, my mother, she actually is out of the house for a week because she's on a trip with my aunt. So I kind of have to like prioritize the house a little bit more. And number 2, I also have to like help out my dad a bit because he recently just had like a little, like not a major surgery, just it's like a little surgery. So he's fine. Like he's actually very energetic and I don't think he needs that much help. But like, you know, obviously between my mom not being home because she's on a trip and then my dad like because he just had surgery, it's like I gotta prioritize stuff a little bit more. But also because I have to like focus a little bit more on, you know, on top of the 2.0 project that I'm still working on. I'm trying to also rebuild an art portfolio website, and I want to, like, this is going to be one thing contributing to it, but I also want to prioritize that before I have to get to like, oh, I didn't even save this. Oh, well, it's funny because I have a piece here that says Summertime Cindy, but it's from 2015. So I guess this is like, wait, what was that piece? Let me see. I need to like check that out. That's actually funny because I was like, now we have Summertime Cindy 2015 and we have Summertime Cindy like 2025. So almost a decade later. Hold up. Like now I'm curious. I want to look this up. Oops, I keep doing this. I need to like, I think the next time I get hotkeys for my VTuber, I think I'm gonna like, instead of putting them in the number pad, I'm gonna put it in like a different thing. Cause I keep doing this to myself. I'm like, bruh. Okay, now I'm curious. Oh yeah, this piece, I remember this one. Okay, so I have a couple of different pieces. Okay. So like if you've known me, I've had this OC for more than a decade, but this is just a version of her where I've changed her a little. So yeah. All right. I'm gonna put her right here as a reference. And now we're gonna get to the I'm actually gonna, you know what? Oh wait, I can't do that because I'm on my phone. Oh, that's fine. Oh, hi. Hey, Jelly Vishnu. Ohayo. Welcome on in. My name is Heroine Mari. It's so nice to meet you. I'm doing an art stream. I'm drawing my OC for the summertime. You know, like a summer theme going on. Kick back, relax, and just let's chill out. How have you been? Whee! I hope the volume is good. Like, I'm still kind of figuring out stuff with my mic. I might get one of those, like, I think it's called like a pop. Well, I have a pop filter, but it's not like the same one that it's like the circle thing that you put on front of the mic, but it doesn't seem to do well. So I might just get the one that you use. Actually, no, wait, I can't get the one that covers the mic because my mic has this setting where in order to mute it, you have to tap the top part of it. I don't think I need a pop filter though. I think it's just that I don't have the luxury of having like those wall sound panels that people have, like the professional streamers have. So this is probably the best I'm gonna get. All right. Actually, you know what? Okay, to make things less. Anyways, how have you been, by the way? How have you been? I hope you're having a good Saturday. Let's see. No, actually, I think it's good to have this. Let me do a little simplified. Yeah. Did I have everything? Okay, everything should be good. Everything should be stable. There we go. We got a face. I'm gonna shrink the face down because for whatever reason, whenever I sketch the characters' faces, I always have the habit of like making their faces a little bit too big. So I'm trying to like curve that, but it can be a little difficult. But I think I have something. I think I got it. And then we got all right, there we go. A little better than when you were playing Fantasy Life. You fixed the sound problem. Yeah, basically I kind of made myself louder because, and I've been trying to mess with like the kind of like, I think another problem too was that my mic wasn't far enough. So I made it a lot more closer to my face, and I think that solved it. I just wish I could find a way to make my voice sound clearer, but I think that's one of those things where the problem is, because I was looking up tutorials about this. Also, hi Oaxaca, I hope you're having a good day. Essentially the problem is most of the professional streamers have like the sound. I mean, I know there's filters that could louder as a Latina is dangerous. Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about. Like I know there's filters, and I do plan to try to experiment more with like filters to see what works, But I also think another factor is that most of the professional streamers, their rooms have things like the sound cork walls, or they have like these these sound booths where they do their streams. And it's like the thing where it's like when the walls are closer to you, it makes it easier. There's like less echo or less thing. Whereas my problem is that my room, like, I don't have that luxury to have that set up. Even though like my streaming setup is in a corner, which is a good thing. It's having it in a corner is a good thing, but it's still not like absolutely perfect. So it's one of those things where I kind of just have to live with what I can, you know what I mean? But maybe I could adjust the filter. But I think this is probably the better than what I had before. I still haven't like, I gotta look at one of my streams to kind of get a reference. I just wish I could have a way to make it a little clearer. I think there's an equalizer, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do one day where I do a stream. Honestly, I think I'm just gonna like one day do a test stream where I mess with like my settings. Maybe I'll do like a private stream or something like that, and it's like just a stream of like messing with like my equalizer and seeing what works. Let's see. Like yourself in the bathroom, great acoustics. Oh my god. If only. The only thing I could do, but it's like I think like it's one of those situations where if I ever move to a new place, maybe I will consider doing this, is that I've seen on Amazon that there are like these you can get like a setup where it's basically these poles that like you don't even need to like do any drilling, which is a good thing. This is actually perfect if you can't like drill stuff. It's a pole that like, how do I explain? You know how when you have like the showers that like you have those like shower curtain holders, but it's like a pole that just like it adds how do I say, it's like the tension rods that it balances and stuff because of the walls of like the tubs. So like they're designed to go very long, but they'll stop at the walls of the tub, and it works because of the tension it gives. Yeah, exactly that. Basically there are poles that work exactly like that, but instead of like one wall to the other, it's from the roof, it's from the floor to the ceiling. So you basically set it up exactly the same, except you're setting it up from the floor to the ceiling. And then you just buy a fridge and use the box to stream. I don't think that's gonna work. Also, like, listen, I ain't Indiana Jones. I'm not here to prepare for like a nuke or something. Whatever, or what? Does that even work? I don't think that worked. That was like a very bullshit thing, but I remember people talking about that. That was crazy. I think that was funny, but that was also like, bruh. But essentially, it's a setup that like you put these tension rods. Oh, what the? Why'd it get loud? Huh? Okay, I gotta fix that. But essentially it's these poles that you set up from the ceiling to the fridge was lined with lead, but yeah, the impact would have killed him. Oh, okay. I think that, okay, that's the theory. Okay, that's the idea behind it. Okay. Yeah, but basically it's kind of like basically it's like you're setting up these poles, and then you put a curtain rod in between the poles, and then you put the curtains on those curtain rods, so you could kind of make like a box thing out of it. And I think if I were to ever if I ever get like my own place and I have the space, I think my idea is that I want to do something like that, where it's like maybe like I mean ideally if I could, Okay, that's actually perfect. Ideally, if I could, I would like to just have like an office room to do my streams, and then like, and then keep my bedroom, or maybe get like a master bed, or maybe get one of those like huge master bedrooms, because that would be pretty nice as well. But like, you know, I gotta live with what I have, you know. Girls dress right. Yeah, she's gonna have a swimsuit. I'm just like getting her pose. Because for this is gonna be like a beach theme, like a summer theme, so she's at the beach. I think I'm gonna add, you know what, I think I kind of want to add like a little, like one of those like cute little like skirts, like you know how like in the, you know how some swimsuits they have like these cute little skirts. I think I'll add that for her. And then I'll add like, all right, I think I'm gonna shrink her head down a bit, because I feel like this head is a little too big. Like, I like the sketch of it, I just, oops, no. Okay, that's a little, girl, let me tell you, that alone will get me arrested. Oh Lord. All right, so I'm like looking up at a thing I drew, so I was just like, just have a reference. I mean, like I said, I'm just doing a beach theme. You know, it's like, oh my God. I will say I do try to be a little bit conscious, because yeah, like she's 11, so I don't want people to get the wrong impression. So I'm just like, yeah, let me, like, I want her to wear something cute, but it's like not something that's gonna like lead to weird looks. So yeah, that is something I do pay attention to. Especially because, to tell you the truth, sometimes I worry about, like, you know, not like I'm doing anything weird, but it's like sometimes I worry about people who like feel with like how people feel when like you have a character who is a kid, but like you want to do stories, like really deep stories with them, that is like very like relatable deep stories, but then all they want to see is like, why is your OC a child? And it's like, bruh, like I got stories for them. Like, not everything gotta be weird. Like, one of the reasons I've kept Cindy the way she is, for the most part, outside of like changing her species, is because like I've had ideas for stories with her that I really like. Also, actually, let me make her whole thing big to match the arm. I feel like the arm is not proportional. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, and then there we go. There we go. That's her hair. Actually, let me make her hair a little bit. All right. I might. Why were you a child? Wait, what are you talking about? All right, and then yeah. Well, this is like a light sketch, so we'll get something bigger soon. I don't know if I'm gonna have time to complete this entire thing on stream. I'm probably just gonna focus more on just at least getting like I said earlier, like I was struggling with this piece mainly because like the composition and the idea of drawing the background was like messing with my head. And then once I had an idea of what I wanted to do, I was like, okay, I think I finally have an idea. Like, I know I want the art style to be just like the one on like right here. It's just the execution is what I had to like worry about. Oops. All right. And now let's draw the girls. I'm actually gonna make a separate sketch just to kind of make sure that if I have to like edit them, it'll be easier. Wait, actually, real quick. Oh, you know what? Hold up. I just realized something. I was like, why does this look weird? And then I realized something. Hold up. I have an idea. Before I continue, okay. Okay, I think I got it. Okay. Okay, that looks a little better. I was like, something doesn't look right. Oh, we gotta start making observation or rather throw a note into it. To tell you the real truth, so here's the thing. I'll give my explanation. So like when I was a kid, so I honestly I have to like, I could go into a whole talk about this. I actually have an idea for this on a video, but essentially, you know, obviously, if you can't tell already, Cindy was originally a Sonic OC. This version is meant to kind of separate the Sonic part of it. So she's meant to be original, like she's actually meant to be a non-Sonic version in this art, even though obviously I was very inspired by the art style. But the idea was that when she was a Sonic OC, oh, well, you know, I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna explain it anyways, because some people might think like, why not just make her like an adult or whatever? But let me explain. When she was originally a Sonic OC, first off, I was 11 years old. I was 11 years old when I made her, which is why she's that age. But the thing was that as I got older, I noticed that a lot of people who had Sonic OCs, you know, they typically made them into like teenagers. And, you know, it makes sense because Sonic, alongside, you know, his friends, you know, they're all teenagers. Well, you know, except for like Tails and a few, but like most of the Sonic gang are like around teen age and whatever. Now, what's funny with me is like, I was always that kid that like, when it came to like teen stuff, I was never like so crazy about it. I was very much like, I was always like a kid at heart. And I always felt like it was hard for me to like relate to other teens because I wasn't into like the typical teen stuff, you know, like in my age, everybody watched when I was young, everybody wanted to watch Degrassi or Jersey Shore or the Kardashians or all that shit. And I was a girl that I would wake up on Saturday morning and watch like Pokemon. That was literally okay. I think my thing might be a little too loud, so I might just turn it down. The Canadian show. Yeah, so okay, I turned it down a bit because I think my mic was peaking. But essentially, I just never like got into like teen stuff. And because Cindy in a way is a part, kind of represents a part of me, like a part of like that child that like wasn't into teen stuff, which unironically, when I came up with her, I didn't really think of that element of her personality. I just think of like a young girl that likes adventures. That was like my first concept with her. But then later on, so like because of that, I never really like, I've drawn the idea of what Cindy would look like if she was like 18 or whatever, but it just never sat well with me. So honestly, and I figured that like, oh, what could stand me out from the other people with Sonic OCs is that I have a main character that isn't like just this hyper, you know, like experiment or like this super powered being. Like the whole joke of Cindy is that Cindy wishes, like the whole joke with Cindy is that Cindy wishes she could be like that, but she's like somewhat normal compared to what you typically see in a lot of Sonic OCs. And oh my god, don't say it like that. Don't point it out like that. That looks weird. Okay. But essentially what happened was, as time passed on, you know, no, don't worry about it, but yeah, as time passed on, you know, as I got older, like at first I was a little self-conscious about the idea of like keeping Cindy young, but it's one of those days where no, you like, I forgive you, it's all good, dude. But it's like the more older I got, it's like there was a part of me that's like, how do I say this? Like, you know how like I feel like the more older you get, the more you kind of want to preserve elements of your youth. Like you don't really want to, like, I don't know, maybe it's me, but it's like the more older I get, the more I wanted to preserve like elements of my youth. And for me, in a way, keeping Cindy young is kind of something like that. You know, it's like me kind of wanting to preserve like that element of my youth, you know? So as a result, that's kind of why I've always like kept Cindy like this. And then it wasn't until a few years back that I started thinking about another thing too, was that I, you know, because I again, like I mentioned before, I've always wanted to like do like children's books. And what's funny was that one day I got bored, and I got bored at like my Target job, and I started reading, because you know we have books, they have the books there and whatever, and they have books that are like kind of for like kids entering middle school and stuff like that. And I started reading those books, and a lot of those books sounds like a really kind of person that keeps Cindy young. Hashtag Cindy young forever. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But essentially I was reading a couple of those books just out of curiosity, because most of them are like graphic novels, so it's like, oh, it's easy to like look through and stuff. And what I noticed is that a lot of stories for these kids, and to be fair, I think this is more common than like the idea I had, is that I feel like a lot of stories, especially coming of age stories about middle school kids, a lot of the plot of the story is essentially they want to fit in with everyone else. They want to be cool, they want to be trendy, they want to be the popular cool kids, they want to impress the popular cool kids. And then the ultimate life lesson in the book is, no, be yourself, appreciate the people that like you for who you are. And don't get me wrong, I think that's a very important thing to teach kids, because the sad truth is, yeah, most kids who are entering their teen years, that's always the big thing they want. They want to be older, they want to fit in, they want to like the cool and trendy stuff. So it really does make a lot of sense for most coming of age stories to have that as the main conflict or the main idea. But I think in the case of Cindy, and something I thought about in like more recent times, and something I might consider doing as like an actual story, is my idea with Cindy's story is that Cindy is the exact opposite, where the problem with Cindy is that she doesn't want to grow up. She doesn't want to go into the idea of being a teenager. She hates that idea. And the whole story, and like, on the one hand, it's good that she's not somebody that falls for like trends or popular stuff. That's a good trait. But on the other hand, she has a lot of prejudice against things that she thinks only mean teenagers like. And she's very she's very like mean about that. Not mean, but she's like kind of selfish and stubborn. And part of her story is like essentially in her story, the ultimate life lesson that she has to learn is there are things about growing up that you cannot change, but there are still things that you could still keep true to yourself. Like, just because you grow up doesn't mean you're going to completely change yourself. Like, there's a lot of things you will change, but there are still things you could still keep that are important to you. So that's kind of my concept with Cindy, and again, that's part of her story. So I think the idea of a character of a young kid who is growing up but hates the idea of growing up and is afraid of growing up, you know, like they don't want to fit in, they don't want to be like everyone else, but there are things about them that they have to work on. Like things that they have to work on. I feel like that's a story that I don't think we really get a lot of in media. I've seen some examples, but I feel like we still don't get a lot of that kind of stories in media. So I think that's a cool concept. And again, a lot of it is based off of myself growing up, where, like I said, even when I was a teenager, I wasn't into like things that teenagers like. Teenagers like drama shows and makeup and celebrities. I was the geeky kid that still liked plushies and Saturday morning cartoons and things that if the other middle school kids knew about me, they would just call me a loser. So like, I think a lot of stuff, you know, it's like there's a lot of relatable things, you know what I mean? So I think the idea of like Cindy, like that being her story could be something that it's not just something for myself, but I think as I've gotten older, another thing I've discovered is people that have very similar experiences, especially people that are like neurotypical and stuff. Is that the term, neurotypical or neurodivergent? I forgot, but like I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. The whole like being a kid where being a teen where you still like your kid stuff while all the other teens just like the cool and trendy shit, you know? So I think that's something. I can't believe I got into this deep top. Oh my god. But I like it though. I like that. I wanted to say something about her tail. Which tail? Are you talking about Cindy's tail or Jasmine's tail? Cindy? Oh yeah, the squirrel tail? Yeah. I didn't mean for Mari to start a soul searching triad. Oh my god. I just felt like I kind of wanted to just say this, not to like explain myself or whatever, but not to defend myself, but more of like something like, it's like a concept that I wanted to do that like I don't see a lot in media, especially surprisingly media made for this age demographic, where it's like, again, like I saw stories where it's like coming of age stories, but a lot of it is essentially, I want to be something that I'm not, and then you learn to be something, to embrace your true self. But like, I've never seen story where it's the opposite issue, where you hate change. I mean, to be fair, I've seen stories of kids dealing with change, but a lot of it is things more like, I don't know, like parents splitting up, moving to a new place. But like, I feel like when it comes to the concept of growing up, like most of the time stories are about kids liking the idea of growing up because they think of like, oh, I can do this now. But it's never like the implication of like, well, I still like the things I like, so why do I have to give that up just to grow up? So that's kind of the whole idea about it. Actually, speaking of YouTube video, I still got to work on that one idea that I had, but like, I've been so distracted and I've been like struggling with things like the summer heat and a bunch of other shit that it's been hard. All right, and then we got Sonata here. Let me get a drink of water. I'm like thirsty. Mari's thirsty, run for your lives. Look, it's summertime. Like, it is still hot out there. All right. No, I know what you're. No, I know the joke. I know what you're implying. I know what you're implying. I'm just trying to defend myself. I'm trying to defend myself. I know exactly what you're implying. I know the joke. Actually, speaking of thirsty, you know what I have thought of, which is funny? Y'all know that one game that came out recently, Date Everything? Is it weird that, like, here's the thing, I'm not even into like dating sims, to tell you the real truth, but I kind of low-key want to play it because I think some of the designs of the characters are kind of funny. And I want to just, like, I want to kind of go in blind. Like, that game is so, apparently that game is so wild, but it's kind of funny. I'm not I have a stylus. I'm not afraid to use it. Oh my god. I thought you said Silas from like that one Love in Deep Space game, and I'm like, what? Oh my god, Love in Deep Space. That's another thirst game. I'll be honest. Okay. Jokes aside, I'm not really crazy. Like, again, I've said this before, when it comes to games like dating sims, the truth is I'm not really crazy about them. I don't think they're bad. I think obviously it's like one of those, like, it's not my cup of tea. It's more like one of those, it's not my cup of tea. Just because the thing about me, you know what it is? It's because, no, yes, exactly. I like Harvest Moon, but here's the thing. The thing about games like Harvest Moon and Story of Season and Stardew Valley is that dating is part of it, but the way they do the dating in those games is like, it feels more interactive. Like, you're working towards building a relationship. You give gifts, you talk to people. There are cutscenes where you see like interactions and all that stuff, you know what I mean? So that the dating scenes in those games feel a little bit more like, I feel like there's more like, it's like, not only are you putting effort into building the relationships, you have hands, I like that in a partner, oh my god. Not only are you building towards it by like talking to them, giving gifts and all that stuff, and witnessing their love scenes, their heart scenes, but it's like, because most of them have like cut scenes, you know, like sprite scenes, or like in the modern games, like we see these scenes of 3D and everything like that. It feels like there's more effort, like, not effort, but like, it feels like there's more of an impact in that. Whereas in like dating sims, it's literally like, the best way I feel about reading dating sims is like, it's basically you're just reading a book, but there's occasionally like pictures, and you have choices you can make, but it's really just you reading a story where you can make a couple of choices. But the thing is, like, all you're doing is reading and reading and reading and reading, and then making like a choice, reading and reading and reading and reading, and then you're making a choice. And for someone like me, where reading is like something I'm like, you know, it's like unless it's a graphic novel, it's just not something I want to put energy into, which I know that makes me sound lazy, and yeah, maybe that's laziness, but that's just how I feel. Whereas in like Harvest Moon, like, it's not all reading. Reading is cheap. Mari wants action. You know what? In a certain, like, that can be taken completely out of context, but in a certain way, you are right. Like Harvest Moon Story Seasons, there is more actions alongside with words, whereas in most visual novels, it's mostly reading. Not to say that there aren't visual novels that have action in it. There's definitely been a couple of them that do show a few stuff, but it's mostly like, again, reading and reading and reading and reading. You make a choice, and reading and reading and reading, and then you make a choice, you know? And again, that's not a bad thing. For the record, I'm not saying that's bad. There are people that probably like that, and that's completely fine. Just like how there are people that love reading books and everything like that. That is totally fine. It just doesn't, it's just not something that I am completely into, but that's okay, you know? Like, I can appreciate why, I can see why people love it, I can see why people are into it, but it's just not my cup of tea. Alright, I was on this piece for a while, but I'm like here explaining why I don't like visual novels. I feel like I'm like, now that I think about it, I feel like I'm like trying to explain like it's almost like I'm trying to explain in front of a court like why I'm not into like dating sims. The only thing about Date Everything is that I low-key think it's funny, so I'm willing to try. I'm willing to try it just because I think it's like really funny. But like, again, it's just not like something that's like my absolute cup of tea. Oh, you know what I realized? I think Sonata is just a little bit too big compared to her sister, so I gotta shrink her down. I'll shrink this whole part down. Oop. Phoenix Wright Treehouse Edition. Okay, but here's the thing about Phoenix Wright. Phoenix Wright is different. Phoenix Wright, okay, I will say this. Phoenix Wright is one of the few, like, it's not really a dating sim, it's a visual novel. It is one of the few ones that I actually have seen gameplay of it. Like, I've seen Let's Plays of it. The thing is, it's different because there is action in that game, and also it's when you think about the concept where you're literally playing a lawyer, it makes sense that there is a lot of dialogue because that's how it is in the courtroom. It's literally people arguing, well, not arguing, but making arguments and talking a lot about this, about, you know, whether a person should be guilty or not. So like that's one of the few cases where it's like, okay, I'm willing to go with this because it makes sense. And also Phoenix Wright is like I like the sexy clown lawyers. Wasn't she like a suspect? Oh my god. No, but I like Phoenix Wright. Like, I like the Ace Attorney series. Like, there's a lot of good dialogue there. That's like an exception. But the thing with me was that I don't play it, I watch other people play it. Which is like, I know some people might think that's like kind of cheating, but like, the thing is, okay, I'm gonna say a hot take. If a game is mostly a visual novel, I think it's okay if you didn't play the game, but you watched an entire Let's Play of it. Like, I don't think it's wrong. Like, if it's a game that has gameplay, like, for example, like Splatoon 3 or like Mario or stuff like that, then yeah, like, it's more like those are games where the gameplay is more of a focus. But in games where it's like a visual novel where the narrative is the focus or there's a lot of dialogue, I personally think it's not wrong to not want to play the game, but you get into the series because you watched other people play it and you followed along through Let's Plays. When it came to series like Phoenix Wright and Danganronpa, that's how I got into it, because personally I feel too stupid to solve some of the things in those games. So I got into it by watching other people play it, which again, I know there's some people that are very divided on that, because some people think that you should play it yourself, that you should play it, that it doesn't count to just watch somebody else play it. But other people think that in those cases it's completely fine to just have it like that. All right, now it's time to make a clean sketch because I gotta make this. But yeah, that's just my personal take. Oh wait, let me see how it looks. Yeah, you know what? I think this looks cute. Okay. All right, she has something, don't worry. Let me just start with the face first, because I like to start with the face. Like I said, very rarely, not very rarely, but sometimes when I do an art stream, I already have the sketch done. But the reason behind that is because a lot of the times the sketches come from my sketchbook and I just like either scan them or take a photo and upload them. So it's kind of like, it's just me like fixing up the sketch or like doing the line art. But in this case, this is like me actually working on the sketch. I think one thing I'm gonna do after this stream is I have to like actually one thing I might do is I might go out because I have to get like a couple of things. Actually, do I want to do it I mean, I could do it tomorrow as well. I feel like it's like those TV cooking shows. They have it already made in the oven ahead to save time. Oh yeah, that's true. It's like, oh yeah, we have it ahead of time, ahead to save time. Yeah, that's true. No, because there is a couple of things I have to do, but I also have tomorrow. And like, the thing is, I kind of want to stay home today. Like, I have food in the fridge, so I could just like whip up something. It's just that I think what I might do after stream is I think I'm going to I kind of want to work on like, one thing I mentioned earlier is like I'm working on a I came back out Awesome Live movie. If it was just like that, oh my god. I mean, hey, having food already made like that, that would definitely save me a lot of time. Oh my god, you know what I thought of the other day? Have y'all ever watched that one Adam Sandler movie? What was it called? Click It? The one where he gets a remote and he fucks around with it and accidentally goes into the future or some shit like that. Like, I think about that movie because of the whole idea that you could freeze time around you and shit like that. Am I the only person? Hear me the fuck out. Am I the only person that I think, like, you know how much time I would literally save by freezing time and then going to sleep? And in my perspective, I'm sleeping for like the full 10 hours and getting up slowly and shit, and I would feel so goddamn refreshed. And then I continue time and it's only been a second. Like, I'm not the only person that's thought of that. I know what you would do. Oh my god. But seriously, do you understand how much time that would save? Where it's like I could stay up late, I could play video. I mean, to be fair, if I wanted to also save extra time, I could also just like freeze time and then do whatever the fuck I want. Like, but like, I feel like if I was only able to to freeze time for one thing, like if I had a power where I could freeze time, but I could only use it for one thing only, I would literally use it for sleep, because you could get like easy full night rest. You could stay up late, get easy full night rest, and like you would always wake up feeling refreshed. Like fast forward work. Oh, that's another good one. Actually, no, that might be that might have issues though, because if I remember correctly, that was kind of one of the conflicts that he dealt with, was that he kept fast forwarding his life. But the thing is, when you fast forward, like according to the dude that talked about it, apparently you end up in like a default mode, and the personality in your default mode can vary. So like when he kept fast forwarding life, he kept like, his default personality was like not to prioritize his family that much, which ended up causing him to end up in a bad future. So like, I don't think, like, unless there were certain circumstances where I genuinely did not care, I think it's one of those powers where you would have to like use as like a precaution. Cause like literally that was the plot of the movie, was that he kept fast forwarding time, but then his default personality was that he was like ignoring and neglecting his family. Can't get any worse than this. I mean, that is true, but like I said, like, I personally think that I think the best thing to use it for is to literally just hack the sleep system and just be like, oh, I getting immediate 8 hours of sleep without having to like, without having to like go to bed early. It's like, yeah, like that's like, yeah, why not? I know this music. What is this music? Oh, it's Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It reminds me of something I would hear in like a farming game, but like, I mean, but oh, speaking of Pokemon, there's supposed to be a Pokemon Presents like on Tuesday. I don't think I'm gonna be able to watch it because of work, but like, I'm very curious of what that Presents is gonna show us. I know they're probably going to show a little bit of like AZ and stuff, but I'm very curious about Champions. That's the game I want to see. I want to see more Pokemon Champions because I'm very curious about what kind of game that is. I also have Pokemon Zap. I would do this. I would pause on a huge decision, spend literally days working out every scenario and go with the best option. Okay, that's a good idea. That is actually a good idea. That is a good power. That is a good use of that. Like, you literally pause on a huge decision and you spend the equivalent of days thinking of the best scenario. That's actually a good idea because, yeah, sometimes one of the worst things about making decisions is when you have a deadline and you can't, like, slow down to think about it thoroughly, and that can suck. So that's actually a good use of that ability. But yeah, I was very curious about I'm very curious of what they're gonna present. Okay, this is my personal bet. This is my personal bet on something. Next year, okay, somebody talked about this. Next year is Pokemon's 30th anniversary, which is where most likely we are gonna get Gen 10. So the next mainline game. I wouldn't be surprised if this. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Either we get a peek at the next game, or we get to see the starters for Gen 10, or they're probably gonna start like they did with Violet and Scarlet, exactly. Or they're gonna start, because here's what I'm thinking Nintendo Game Freak is gonna do. I think they're gonna have, you know, this year is supposed to be the year of Eevee. They're doing this big year-long campaign. Next year, they're gonna do a huge-ass campaign celebrating the 30th anniversary of Pokemon. And I feel like this is gonna be them announcing something like that with a preview of the Gen 10 starters. Like, as a way of an early pre-anniversary celebration or something. Like, I feel like they're gonna do something like that. Like, I can really see them having a preview of that, because again, next year is the 30th anniversary. I think, like, and most likely we're gonna get Gen 10. That just makes so much sense. Also, you know what's funny? You know what I realized? I saw this the other day. Next year is the 30th anniversary. We're getting the Gen 10. We're most likely gonna get Gen 10 with the starters. Counting Gen 10, we will have 30 starter Pokemon. Like, if you count all of the starter Pokemon, okay, if you don't count Pikachu and Eevee, it is 30 starter Pokemons in total. Like, if you include Pikachu and Eevee, it's 32. But I feel like they're gonna do something in regards to that. Like, it just makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna test something because I am sweating here. Give me 1 sec, folks. All right, I think you could hear that though, so Let me see if I could get the noise gate thingy. Oh, of course you would say that. Bruh. Hold on. Oh, damn. No. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay. Alright, well, noise suppression works. No, wait. Actually, that's not gonna work either. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna have to just suffer in the sweat. Okay. I thought I sadly cannot. One of the worst things about streaming in the summertime is that I can even if I use noise suppression or noise gate, I cannot avoid having the fan sound. So like I'm just gonna have to suffer in the sweat until stream is over. Yeah, noise gate. It's a filter in OBS. Like noise gate, I think is like similar to noise suppression, but it works. It does something else with it. But I feel like no matter how much I put it in, it just doesn't work the way I want it to. That sounds cool. Yeah, so basically noise suppression and noise gate. So basically the idea is, and this is one of the reasons why I don't like having it, because here, let me explain. So the idea is like, okay, you know this sound? Like the sound of the keyboard. Oh, I accidentally pressed this by accident. So noise suppression is supposed to like disable that it's supposed to make it where you don't hear that. You just hear what my voice and that's it. The problem is that it also has a clip effect that doesn't look good. So the idea is that like most professional streamers that know about sound, they have a way of getting the perfect sound with it. But for me personally, every time I put it on, I feel like I get kind of clippy. And I think part of it also has to do with the software thing, not just with the mic, but with software. So I feel like that's why it has like some issues. But oh my god, what is that comment? Is depression a sound? It's like, okay, don't be cheeky like that. Oh, this is Stardew Valley music. I like Stardew Valley. I was like, did that block out the sound of D? Oh my god. If only that was the case. If only that was the case. Honestly, I would use that on like no, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be mean, but I was gonna say like I was gonna make a joke about one of my coworkers who's like super fucking cynical, but like I also don't want to like, you know, I tell myself I don't want to use streaming as a way to vent my issues about like other people. Oh wait, what am I doing? Oh my god. Sorry, I just realized I did something that I haven't done in a while. Oh. No, don't do that. That's why you're a streamer and I'm not. I kind of told myself like one thing I don't want to do, which I've seen some streamers do, is like I try to to be like, I want to have like this nice positive vibe. Like, it's okay to make jokes, and it's okay to have moments where it's not all sunshine and rainbows. But the thing is, I don't want to be one of those people that I use streaming as a way to like vent issues. Like, because personally, like, you know, I understand some people having to talk about things, like, it's okay and whatever. I don't think it's bad, but at the same time, I don't feel super good about venting issues I have of my job. Like, there are sometimes, like, you know, it's funny because 2 years ago, when I used to use Twitter Space to just simply vent my issues that I was dealing with, but I've been trying to avoid that now. Like, I'm trying to avoid doing that kind of stuff because I just don't like to I don't want to air out my dirty laundry. Like, God help you, no, every dating owner for God help you when I do. The world is on my shit list. Oh my God. Like, I have my bad days, but it's like, I'm one of those people that if I'm in a bad mood or I'm dealing with shit, I just want to like handle it myself. Cause like, I don't know, I just don't feel right opening up about certain stuff. Like, there are issues I don't mind opening up about, but it's like I want to avoid the whole thing of like being a streamer and then you air out your dirty laundry about like everything. Like, I kind of want to avoid that. Like, I don't blame streamers that do it because like I get it, but also like there are just some things I feel like people tend to overshare that I'm just like, I like, not to be that bitch, but you really didn't have to tell us that. Like, to be fair, it's their channel. If they want to talk about every fucking problem they have, then yeah, like, that's their channel. They could do that, but I just want to avoid that on my channel. Like, at the end of the day, if you have the channel, you could do whatever the hell you want, but like, there are just some things that I wouldn't do. That bitch. Oh my God. That's why, like, even though I've talked about like that one particular coworker, it's like, no, you know what? I'm gonna be more mature about that because like, even if I don't like that coworker, I'm not gonna use that coworker as like a I don't want to be like petty and be like, I'm gonna use that as like my my talking, like, ranting punching bag kind of thing, you know? Like, I've seen people, like, I've also seen that where people will have like that one person in their life that is like their like, they treat that person as kind of like a punching bag that they like, well, not a punching bag, but like they like to talk so much shit on stream. And it's like, I understand why some people do it, but it's also one of those things where you can only handle so much of that kind of conversation until you just like, you're just like so done, you know? They're all on TikTok. See, this is why I don't want TikTok. This is why I don't want TikTok. It's funny because I've considered TikTok for like maybe advertising, and maybe that's probably the most I'll ever do, but I don't want to ever like use TikTok. Like, I'm already on too many social medias, and I'm like, let me reduce the amount of brain rot and shit I see. Like, if I ever use TikTok, it's really just to like post like clips and shit, and then like that's it. Like, somebody once said that even if you don't like TikTok, like, at the very minimum, use it as like a digital like billboard ad, and then just bounce. Like post a video and then you could like leave, you know what I mean? And honestly, I think that's like the best advice of like, yeah, like, just use it like that. Oh my god, we've been on for an hour. Damn. I just realized. Holy shit. I'll be honest, I don't think we're gonna have enough time to get to like the line art. But if I could at least get like this sketch going and then I could work on it, then I'll be fine. Oh wait, I have an idea. I just realized, like, what if I do something with the skirt to make it look kind of cute? What if I make it look like little orange slices? Haga, the boy who steals time. I still gotta like get through fantasy life. I'm just glad that I was able to find those blacksmiths in the last one, because again, one of the biggest issues I was having was I wanted to get better gear, but I guess like I haven't grind enough of the blacksmith, so like my level is down, and I was like, instead of wasting resources, I thought, what if I could find like somebody that could just help me with that kind of stuff? So that's why I was like, what if I need to find like a blacksmith? And to my luck, I found 2, so it's like, okay, that's gonna give me double the support. So like, hopefully now oh my god, I just realized, you know what, I'm not gonna make a comment. No, I'm gonna avoid that topic, but like, oh my god, but I do like oranges though. But I do think these could make good orange slices. But yeah, like, to go back on fantasy life, I no, it's okay, that was an accident. I know exactly, I know what you meant. I know exactly what you meant, but when I first saw that, no, I completely get it. It's okay. I know that wasn't on purpose, but when I saw that comment, sadly, that was my first thought, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then I was trying to avoid that, and then it's like, whoops. No, I know what you meant. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I know you didn't mean it like that. Yeah, no, I know you didn't mean it like that. I should have like just kept my mouth shut. But I was like, oh, wait a minute. I know you didn't mean that. I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like, can I be real about something? If there's one thing that low-key kind of is sad about the internet nowadays, is that I think it's good that people like are focused on things that are an issue, but I feel like we've gotten to a point where we become so overzealous that even the slightest accidental out of context things can snowball into something that people will assume the wrong thing in you. And it's gotten to a point where it's like, it's so hard to just talk about something without accidentally making a context. And I feel like we're so terrified of getting canceled. Like, I feel like sadly we become so terrified of saying the wrong thing, of getting canceled, of people thinking the worst. And then it gets to a point where like it's like I've seen people getting defensive where it's like people assume the worst, but in reality it's really not as what people think it is. You know what I mean? So I get it, and I think sadly we've haywired our brains into being so defensive, and also like we get self-conscious as well. So it's like that's kind of like what I was thinking about, like the whole like the whole thing of now, and even the whole thing where I was talking about like, oh, like why is my character a child when like I could be making an OC that's an adult, and you know what I mean? So I think a lot of it is really like, I feel like the internet has gone to a point where, yeah, like people like, I think there are things that, yes, it's good that we are being more strict about, and I am very supportive of that. I am 100% supportive of that, but at the same time, there are some people that really are so overzealous that they misinterpret things that shouldn't be the way it should, that and they think the wrong things when in reality it's not like that at all. Okay, you know what? I can't do this anymore, guys. I'm gonna have to, I'm sorry, I know you're gonna hear the AC, but I'm gonna need to turn the AC on because it is actually hot now in my room. I can't. I'm sorry if you hear the AC. You know what? I'll at least do you a favor. I think noise suppression should stop it, but it is actually hot. So I know you're gonna hear the OC with the AC. But, you know, I just think people need something to bitch about. It could be that too, but I also think it is some people that they become so overzealous that they misinterpret the wrong thing. And it's like, bro, you gotta like think, you gotta have comprehension. Yeah, no, I am melting. I am literally melting. I am literally melting here. Like, oh my God. Like I said, this is why it's hard for me to stream in the summertime, because it's like, I want to be professional and not have the AC on, but the problem is, it is so hot. Her hordes are drooping. She fused into her chair. Oh my God, no. You ever get that issue where you have the leather chair and it's so hot that when you try to get up, it's like your skin is glued to the chair, so you gotta move it, and then it like comes off in that way? Like, bro, that is me. Oh my God, yes. Holy shit. Like, I try to do the professional stuff, but it's like, bro, like, it's summertime, it's hot, like, I need the AC. I'm sorry if you could hear it through my mic. I know my filter system needs improvement, but it's like, bro, it is hot as balls. It is hot as balls. Like, I am like, I could be like streaming. It's like, do I want to be a professional or do I want to be comfortable? How do you know how hot balls are? I mean, really. Honestly, I don't. I just imagine, like, honestly, okay, I'm gonna say something mad cringe, but all I can think of is like, it must feel weird having two masses of skin sacs between your legs and then that getting sweaty. Like, I just imagine it. I mean, you know, I have breasts, so there is such thing as breast sweat, but I just imagine that, but between your legs. There's some serious period levels of pain. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm trying to think, like, how could a man understand, like, what cramps are? Like, what is something that could happen in a man? Like, I mean, reading that now, I might. Oh my god. I think the only way a guy could ever understand like period cramps is if they did the period pain simulator. And even then, I don't know how accurate that shit is. But it's also like I've heard people say that when women use it, it doesn't affect them, but that's because they're so used to the pain that they grew up massive tolerance. Whereas because guys have never had a period, like periods before, they don't understand, they don't have that tolerance. So it's like, it's hard to gauge at the accuracy as a woman because the tolerance we've developed over time is so different. So even then, it's just a case of like, it's hard to tell. Exactly, you get a tolerance of pain, so you can't really judge it yourself as a woman because we've developed a tolerance of it that it's nothing. Meanwhile, me, I have pain every day. Oh my god, let me get some water. When I don't feel it, I get scared. I will say sometimes I do get joint pain, but that's also because of like just certain things. You know what's ironic? Like, this is gonna sound dumb, even though it's hot today, I'm actually craving, well actually my mom did make soup yesterday, so I might just take that. Because like, I'm also trying to like, because my mother had also cooked this week because she had to go on a trip, she actually left today, so she did a little bit of cooking, so and she still has some leftovers, so like, honestly, I might just like to avoid not having to buy food, I might just grab her stuff. Because I don't want to, I don't want to waste food either. And also, it just saves money. There's no round season for caldo. Yeah, that's true. Then again, I'm the type of girl that it could be like freezing outside. Like, we could have negative degrees and I will still go out and get an iced coffee. Like, I am that fucking weirdo bitch that be like going to Dunkin' Donuts in like a blizzard just to get an iced coffee. Not hot chocolate, but an iced coffee. I want to fix this a bit. Who drank milk and put ice cubes in it? Huge turnoff. Oh, like, you don't like iced coffee? Oh, sorry about that, dude. I'm sorry. Here's the thing, I've had hot coffee and I don't mind it, but it's like I just like cold drinks. And I don't know, when I was a kid and I had my first time, when I you know what's funny? It was my brother who got me into iced coffees, and I don't know, it was like a canon event for me. The moment I took a drink of it, it just was ingrained in my brain forever. Like, the moment I took that one sip, it just altered my brain chemistry, and I just like, oh yeah, I love this so much. Like, that's how it is. Like, I don't mind hot coffee, and I tea, but I just happen to like the cold versions of it. And also, I like cream and sugar, so yeah, sorry about that, dude. I'm sorry you had to find that out about me. I'm sorry you had to see this side of me. I'm so sorry. Oh, you know what? I want to draw her having something. But I think after stream, I'm gonna just make a quick lunch. And since my mother has leftovers, I'm just gonna have like the soup just to save money and stuff. All right, let me save. I think, given the time that we have, I think I'm gonna just probably I'll see how much time I have with the sketch. If I can at least finish the sketch process, and then I think I might just, I don't know if I think I'll do the line art. Well, actually, I know I said that next week I probably might not stream a lot, but I might, if I think for this piece, since I do want to complete it, maybe I'll do a stream where I focus on like the line art and then just trying to complete this piece. Because like I said, I want to get back into like doing the monthly pieces. There we go. Oh wait, I just realized I forgot to add. I gotta add her thing. I gotta add her little, like, yeah, this part. There we go. Like I said, I'm sorry if you hear the AC as I talk, but dead ass, it is so hot that I'm like, I need this. I really need this. Like, sometimes you want to be professional, but sometimes comfort is better than being professional. Is this Splatoon? Actually, no. It usually has like the little Splatoon noises. Hold on. Oh no, it's Arknights. I was like, this sounds like something you would see in Splatoon, but it's actually Arknights. I think a little like that, you know, like that sound effect, like the squid sound effect, like you know, whatever the hell they do it. Like, it could fit it. It could fit it. It just needs that like whatever they say. One idea I had for today's stream, outside of this piece, was I was gonna do some Art of Cookie Run, but I'm kind of glad I did this because I wanted to do something that I was like, again, I wanted to focus on a piece for like this month and everything. So I think it's good that at least I'm using the stream for something that I actually want to put, especially for my art portfolio. All right, and then here's the last piece, which I'm gonna separate it here. Actually, no, I'll do this. Quit while you're high, you might actually say a racial slur in the squid language and get banned. Oh my god. Oh, the Splatoon language. It's a funky little thing. I can't wait for that Splatoon Raiders game. I'm very curious about that game too. Like the Splatoon Raiders thing they announced. Like, I think we are still gonna get like a Splatoon 4. Like, that's just like a spin-off. So we are definitely getting like a Splatoon 4, but I'm very curious about Raiders. Like, I want to know what that game is. Loud ink squirters. That's what do you think about it? There's a lot of weapons in Splatoon that low-key could sound like innuendos. Like, you know, I feel like I could go through a list of them, and some of them like low-key sound like something you would see in like it sounds like something you would see in like a Karma Sutra or some shit like that. Like, I think one of them is like, I think there's one weapon in the game that was called like something water sport or something like that, and I'm like, bro, what weapon? I think that's like a weapon or a gear or something that's called like something water sport or something. Or like, I think there's a weapon that's called like the Squirt Master, and I'm like Splatoon naming conventions could literally pass off as like innuendos. Gushmaster, no, like that's like a legitimate thing. That sounds like a Splatoon weapon. The Gushmaster, the Gush Bucket, or some shit like that. The Gatling Gush or whatever. Gatling Gush, that one. The back shot roulette. Okay, not that one. Oh Lord. The back shotter. That's like again, there's so many things that Splatoon could get away with. Like, I'm literally tempted to just wiki all the weapons, and like, I don't know, there's probably something called like the load shotter or some shit like that. Hold on, now I'm curious. Wait, list of Splatoon weapons. Like now my brain, I need to have validation. Okay, it's taking a while to load. Okay, the first one I see is Sploosh-O-Matic, which low-key, that I could see that being a thing. Let's see. There's Dual Squelcher, which honestly, Squelcher already sounds wrong to begin with. The Squeezer. Let's see. The Squiffer. No, that's the Squiffer. Okay, yeah, Squiffer. That sounds weird. Oh, here's the perfect one. GooTuber. GooTuber sounds like a VTuber. That sounds like a VTuber that's like a slime that's made out of slime. But that is literally a weapon named GooTuber. Hold on, let's see more. Let me see. The Slosher, Tri-Slosher, Sloshing Machine, the Blobber. Let's see. Okay, the Splatlings are pretty good. The Dualies, Dualie Squelchers. Okay, that sounds weird. Okay, the umbrella ones are fine. The Blasters, I started blasting. Okay, blasters are fine. The ink brush are fine. The stingers are fine. Honestly, the wipers are fine. There's a special weapon called the splashdown. Oh my god. But honestly, our ideas, like, I feel like some of my ideas are things they would put in Splatoon that people would just giggle. There's the stages with the mechanics, like the gusher. Oh my god. The flutter. Oh my god. Bruh. See, like, some of the shit, like, writes itself. Oh yeah. One of the buckets in Splatoon, literally, it looks like a fucking bidet, is like, yeah, no. Like I said, some of these dialogues is like, I'm not even like being like a perv. I'm just like, yo, some of these dialogues, like, who comes up with this? And it's funny because probably the Japanese version, the Japanese names sound perfectly normal, and then someone in the United States is like, what if I made this into an innuendo? Like, they fucking would. Oh my god, you want to know something I saw the other day that was so bad on a similar topic? So there was a news site that announced that Fortnite was gonna get like you know, like the skins for the players to wear, and some of these skins are like they put like celebrities and whatever. So they're about to do like a promotion for like the Fantastic Four because that movie just came out, and what I think did it come out? It's about to come out, something like that. So they're gonna have like skins of the characters of Fantastic Four for players to wear. But the way, okay, it hasn't come out yet, but they're promoting it. Do you want to know what the fuck they put in the headline for like this promotion? Fantastic Four skins are coming to Fortnite. Do you know? I'm gonna say that slowly, because if you say that a little bit too quickly, it sounds like something else. Comments. The best part, someone in the comments said, do not Google Fantastic Four skins. And I'm just like, they did that headline on purpose. There's no fucking way. There's no way you put that there without making it sound on purpose, bro. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Out of all the ways, they could have said, like, oh, a crossover of the Fantastic Four is coming where you could, where skins based off of the characters are coming. Or they could have said skins of the Fantastic Four are coming to Splatoon 4. They could have done that, and they chose to do the other thing. Bro. Holy shit. Actually, going back to that topic of Splatoon names. Okay, wait, that sounds nasty. Yeah, no, it's bad. Speaking of Splatoon, the weird Splatoon names, I just think, like, could it be funny to have a drinking game where it's like drink every time, like, or a game where it's like we're gonna list names of weapons in Splatoons, and we need to ask you which of the following is not a real Splatoon name. And like we put all the weird ones, and the one that like sounds equally weird. And I'm just like, oh my god, like imagine if people could guess that. All right, I think the sketch is done here. All right. Wait, let me just adjust this. All right. I'm getting bad so fast for something up with names that just aren't. Oh my god. All right, I think I think I actually made her a little too big, so I'm gonna shrink her down. Though I put it in a separate layer. Okay, there we go. And then I'm gonna erase this sketch. Well, I'm gonna erase this part of the sketch. All right. And with that, yeah, we got this part down. So what I'm gonna do, put her on a diet. Oh man, I'm the one that needs to go on a diet, to be real with you. All right, what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna start the line art, but I'm gonna try to just get like a general, maybe background that's gonna make sense. So we're gonna mess around with the composition so that at the very least we can have something. Because even though I low-key am not a fan of backgrounds, I want to get like some kind of a composition. Wait, where's my bucket tool? Oh, here it is. Okay. Like something that could just work. And then, okay, here's kind of what I was thinking. You know what? Actually, I'm just gonna do it like this. Because if I can at least get this done, this is gonna like save me so much time later on. Because again, backgrounds are like the vein of our existence. But if I can at least get something that looks decent. I'm even thinking of like adding like I was even thinking of like adding like, I think I'll add something here. Here, let me add something here because again, I'll continue everything later on. Let's see. I'm gonna make the water like more blue. Actually, you know what? Here. I know what I gotta do. Hold up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I was trying to like make sure like I had like a point where it's like, okay, like have like a natural point so that it just doesn't look like all waves. There we go. Okay, now we got something. Now we're cooking. Actually, it's kind of funny because I'm like doing this like free-handed and already it actually doesn't look too bad. Well, at least this will make it easier later on because like I said, like I was kind of dreading the background shit, but like now I'm like, okay, wait, I'm cooking actually. All right, well, I think this should be fine. Like I said, I can adjust it, but the fact that I'm able to get something is like, you know what, this is fine. We can modify it later. All right, and then let's do the ocean sand. Yeah, I don't mind if it has this look because it'll actually give it a little bit of a textured look. There we go. I'll even add like a little bit more like I'm gonna add a little bit of orange to it just to kind of give it a little bit more depth. There we go. And then I'll just add let me add something here. I have an idea. You know what? I won't go into too much with it, so I'm just like use this. But just to add it as like a background idea. You know what? Let me Google. I had this as like a thing in one of the tabs. I'm gonna Google beach reference. Add like a photo reference. I might as well like use it as like a thing to be like, okay, let's make the beach feel a little bit more. Let's make it feel like an actual beach. Actually, no, I don't want to add the palm tree, so I'll just add like... Or you know what? You know what? I'll add like a palm tree here. I'd like add this as an indication of like this is a palm tree, just to have like some foreground to it. I'll add this in the background just to add like some kind of an indication of like a palm tree. And then we'll just add someone here. There we go. Just to add like something to the background, then I'll just add like, I don't know, little seashells. Just to give it like more life, you know? Because again, backgrounds are already like a pain. Maybe I would like a person. Maybe, I don't know, maybe this is one of Cindy's like siblings or something. Just something to make the piece feel a little bit more alive, you know, something to make it more like there's like stuff going on, you know what I mean? And then maybe I'll add like some people back here. Oh, you know what? Wait. Let's add this whole thing over here just to kind of show like a little bit of dimension, you know, like so I have an idea. There we go. That adds a little dimension. Okay, this is actually okay. The background, you know what? Now that I got a chance to do the background, it's not too bad anymore. It's not scary anymore. Let's add some brightness. Or you know what? For the palm trees, this one, I'm gonna add like a quick color. We'll add like a darker color to give it like a little bit more. Yeah. And then for this one, we're gonna add like a light color to it. Because again, this is like playing with like the concept of playing with the concept of values, where usually when something is far away it gets darker, but while something that's closer up tends to be lighter. Of course it depends on the light source, so I think my idea is that the light source is a fighting a squid, a giant shark fighting a squid. Oh my god, just like added like as a tiny reference. All right, and then I think to add a little bit more, like some orange. Or no, let's make this yellow to make it stand out visually. And then we got your typical, let's see, this would be the bench, and then I think I'm gonna make a reference to this being, I don't know, maybe it's Cindy's mom or something. Probably, maybe like off stream, I'll do like a more detailed reference for here just to have something. And then we'll put these colors for like the shells, and this is supposed to be like a little crab creature. Since okay, so I'm probably gonna just reference this little creature here. So because Cindy's world is full of anthropomorphic animals, I had this idea where there's like a subspecies of creatures that are essentially supposed to be like animals of this world, but to avoid the issue of, like, for example, I don't want to end up with the issue of like Mickey Mouse where there's like an anthropomorphic dog and then there's like an animal dog. So my idea is that these are creatures called beastlings that are supposed to be something similar to animals, but they're very, very distinct. So I'll have like a whole depth on them, but like basically they're not supposed to be like, they're supposed to be very distinctive, you know? Like I'll go into more depth with them. Okay. And you know what? Let's add one last thing. I'm gonna add this. I know it's too early to add this, but I'm gonna add something to this. I want to add this to the piece. This will be the last thing I'm gonna add, where it's supposed to be like a colored thing to give the piece like a unified color. So right now it may look like I'm just adding like a random shade to it, but this is actually gonna add like a color hierarchy. Actually, you know what? I'll do it like this. Someone set off bombs. Oh my god. This is gonna add a little bit of color hierarchy to the piece. It may not look like it now, but just let me cook with this one. Let me save just in case. That's all, folks. Oh my god, you're right. It looks it looks like the Looney Tunes thing. You're right. Oh my god. Just insert Porky Pig stuttering to say that's all, folks. But there's a reason I'm doing this. Let's add even more blur. But blur intensify. And then I think by doing this, let's see. It doesn't need to be exactly, I think. Oh, wait. You know what? We don't really need the saturation. I think it was soft light that gave us this look. Like, reduce soft light by, I say, yeah, by this point. So it basically is supposed to unify the colors a bit. I'll probably experiment with this more, but this is just something I want to have as an overlay. But yeah, I think we're going to actually stop here. Excuse me, we're gonna stop here. So this is kind of the idea I have for this piece. I think what I might do, like I said, is probably for maybe like on Monday or Tuesday. Like I said, I'm not gonna be streaming a lot next week, but I do want to work on this piece. This is something I definitely want to work on, and working this on stream definitely motivates me to get it done and work on it and stuff. So yeah, I think we're probably going to focus on that. Maybe I'll make like a simplified version of the background, but I'll see. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it, everybody. Oh, is there a raid? I haven't raided in a while. I feel terrible that I haven't raided somebody. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid, because I haven't raided somebody in a while and I feel kind of terrible for not doing it. Let me go to just chatting. So we're gonna disable the music. But yeah, yeah, thank you for joining my stream. Tomorrow I will be back. We're gonna be building the Lego Sonic stuff. I also got one of the Animal Crossing pieces on sale at Target, which is like such a steal. Is there anybody I can raid? Because raiding hasn't been super easy for me. Oh, I like this artist. She's really good. I don't, what is she doing? I like her art style. If she allows it, I could raid into her. A Titan deer. All right, she has her BRB, but you know what? We're raiding her. I haven't raided in a while. I am so sorry. The thing is, normally I like to raid people, but I've been like, because I have to like, in the last couple of times, it's been like a little tricky for me. So I apologize. Okay, there she is. All right. But I really like this artist. I like this person's like art style. Their model is really cute. So let's go give them some love. So you guys take care. I will see you guys in tomorrow. We're going to be doing Sonic Legos. We're going to be doing a hand cam of that. So yeah, I will raid into this girl. I think we should. Yes, we can raid her. Nice. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. You guys take care. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.